friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. For those of you who are returning, I appreciate you so very much and I'm so glad you're here today. If you're new, my name is Brenda and I am so happy to have you here too. Today I'm participating in the Pumpkin Palooza challenge that is hosted by Chantel at Crafty Hints. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But today is probably the last time you'll see any fall decor from me because after today it's full on Christmas, so get those jingle bells out and get your stockings hung and ready. Well, maybe not hung yet, but you know. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, here's DIY number 1. For this DIY, I started off with this pumpkin wreath form, this scarf that I got from the Dollar Tree, this fleece microfiber automotive towel from Dollar Tree, and some felt from Walmart. So I started off by just laying that wreath form on top of the fleecy towel there, and I'm going to hot glue it all the way around, just stretching it to make sure it is pretty tight. I could have made it tighter, but I didn't. So I know at the beginning I said this was going to be the last of my fall videos. Well, guys, I'm sorry, but I just could not come up with more fall ideas because I felt like it was just all repetitive. So I decided, why not make my pumpkins into snowmen? So that's what I decided to do for this video, and that's what you're going to see. So as you see, I am still hot gluing. I did this all the way around, and you just kind of want to make sure that you can get it as tight as you can. I could have probably got mine a little tighter, but after I had that done, I took some black felt and I took that little paint bottle there and I traced out 2 circles for his eyes, and then I'm just cutting that out. And then I'm going to take one of those little dabbers, paint dabbers, I think you call them, from Dollar Tree, and I mark out, I think 5 or 6, I think it was 6 circles with that, and that's going to be for his mouth. And then I did use the orange. I traced out a carrot and then some pink for his cheeks. Once they were all done, I just go around and I add a little hot glue and glue them on. And do be careful because that hot glue does come through that felt. I had been burning myself all day when I made this, so I was being a little sensitive here. So I took that ribbon, the middle part of a ribbon case, and I tore off the bottom, and I'm taking a strip of the black felt and I'm going to hot glue that right around that cylinder part. And then I am going to, I also had made a circle that I will use in a little bit, but once I had that, I traced out that bottom part on another piece of black felt, and then I'm gonna cut that as well. Well, no, I cut that and then oh my goodness. Okay, then I poked that cylinder part through, so that's his hat. I do cut that end down a little bit because it was a little long, but I did cut it down some. Then I used the little piece that I cut for the top. I trimmed it down to make sure it fit correctly, and then I'm just using some hot glue and gluing that onto the top, and then I was just pinching the edges together. Then I hot glued it. I put it on the little stem of that pumpkin and hot glued it to the fabric. Then I took some of this buffalo check ribbon and I am just wrapping that around that hat, around the top part of the hat. Now, if you recreate this, you would probably want to cut that back part of that hat down so that it can hang a little easier. I'm going to have to do that to mine. And you might want to cover the bottom part of it too so you don't see the spool from the ribbon. Then I took this scarf from Dollar Tree and I had to hot glue it on to keep it onto the sides of that pumpkin. Otherwise it was trying to fall off, and then once I had it hot glued, I just tied a little knot to make his scarf. And then after that, I took a couple of these little sprigs from a pick of I don't know what kind of bush that is, but I got it from Dollar Tree. And I'm just hot gluing 2 little pieces onto the hat. Here I'm just trying to figure out which way I wanted to lay it. But then I just end up turning it back around. See, I keep playing with it. And then I just hot glue that down as well. And then after that, I took some of these berries that came off another pick from Dollar Tree, and I just hot glued them right in the middle. And it was that easy, guys. Super easy. See, I could have probably made it a little bit tighter, but I still think it came out really cute. You have to let me know what you think about it below. So today's challenge is called the Pumpkin Palooza. It was a challenge so that we could use up all of our pumpkins since we're headed into the Christmas season. And it is hosted by Kiki with Kiki's DIY and Chantel at Crafty Hints. If you don't know who they are, please check out their channels as well as their videos. They're amazing women. And then check out the rest of the women that are in this playlist. They are all amazing and talented women, and I love them all. So make sure you check them all out. Here's DIY number 2. So for this one, I took these 3 pumpkins that I bought from the dollar store and then my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. So I start off by taking off all those stems and the tags and then painting them with that chalk paint. Once they were all dry, I just take my glue gun and I start stacking them on top of each other, and I used the bigger pumpkin for the head. I wanted to make sure I had enough room for the eyes and stuff because I wasn't sure if those smaller pumpkins had enough room for them. So that's what I'm doing here. And then after that, I took these buttons. I went through all my buttons and picked out some buttons, and I'm just going to hot glue these on for the eyes. If you do this with buttons, be careful because the hot glue does come through the little holes of the buttons, and I think I have 3 or 4 burns on my fingers from doing all of this yesterday. So just be careful. And then I took some little ones and made a mouth and then made some buttons along his chest. Then I'm using a pencil to mark out his nose, and then I will use one of my Arteza paint markers, and I will have a link for those in my description box, and I painted it orange. If you want to show me some love and buy me a coffee or follow me on social media, you can find all the links to those in the link tree in my description box below. Okay, and then after that, I took some poster board. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to my video on this. I cut it out. I took this big spool of ribbon that I had and cut it or used it to trace out a circle. The other piece, I just kind of eyed it, cut it out, and then I painted them all black. And I cut out a smaller circle too, and painted that black. Then once that they were painted, I took my double-sided tape and I put the tape on the inside of that longer piece, and then I'm just rolling that into a cylinder shape. And this is going to be his hat. And then after that was done, I took my hot glue and I just went all along the edge of that cylinder and placed it on top of the round piece. Then after that, I took the smaller piece and I hot glued that on top. And then I didn't like how you could see the crease, so I took this ribbon that I bought. I think I bought it at Walmart a couple of years ago. It's kind of see-through, but it's kind of sparkly, and I felt like it would be perfect for this, and so I just went along and hot glued that right around the edge there. And I love the way it almost gives it kind of a shimmery, snowy look. I love it. Then after that, I just hot glued this onto the pumpkins. Now, if you recreate this, you might want to paint the bottom part of that black, because as I was taking pictures, I noticed you could kind of see that white part, so I might go in and touch that up later. Then I took this bandana that I also got from the Dollar Tree, and I am just wrapping this around his neck like a scarf. And then after that, I take some red ribbon, burlap ribbon. I think I might have got this from Hobby Lobby or Walmart. I'm not sure where I got it. I've had it for a little while. So I folded it in half because I felt like it was a little too wide. I could have cut it, but I just folded it in half. And then I'm just hot gluing it around the brim of the hat there. and then I just fold over the end so there's no frayed edges showing, and then I will hot glue that end as well. Then after that, I took this holly leaf with the berries that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just glued that right onto the hat, and that was it. And I think it's really cute. You'll have to let me know what you think about this. I might have put the buttons down a little bit more instead of putting them all on one. I could have put them on both little pumpkins, but I think it came out cute. Let me know what you think. Okay, here's DIY number 3. So this one, I used these 3 pumpkins that you get at Dollar Tree. They came on stands. I used some Jumbo Craft sticks from Walmart and these 2 pumpkin signs from Dollar Tree as well. I started off by taking those pumpkins and taking them off of their little stands. This one breaks, so I had to pull that one off. But then after that, I just used my Cricut spatula to pull off those bows and the embellishments that were on the pumpkins. Then I used it to just kind of start pulling up the top part of that. And guys, that's just a piece of like burlap that has all kinds of glitter and glue on it, so it comes up really easy. Once I got them all up, I did use my sandpaper to just kind of get off all of the glitter. Even though I'm not painting on that side, I just don't like to have all that loose glitter. Then the bottoms of those have like an edge for where they stick on those stands, so I cut them off, and then here I'm just painting it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and I give all 3 of those a good coat. I think only really needed about 1 coat on each one of those pumpkins. Then after that, I took these Jumbo Craft sticks, I put those 2 big signs together, and I am just using those craft sticks to secure those signs together. Then I took my chalk paint, and it is American DecoArt Chalky Finish, and it is called Colonial, and I paint that whole board with that color. And then once it was done, I took my hot glue and I started hot gluing all of those pumpkins on top there. If you're new, welcome. If you're liking what you see today, I hope you would hit that subscribe button and become part of our little YouTube family. I would love to have you join. Let me know in the description box below if you are new and you are here. Stop by and say hi, and for everybody, remember to hit that like button as well as make some comments. Those really help my channel grow. It helps YouTube notice my channel a little bit more and promote it more, so I really would appreciate that. So after those are all on there, then I took my little decal that I printed off of my Cricut, and I got this from Cricut Design Space. And I am just going to place that on top of the face or the head. It becomes the face. And after that, then I'm going to add the little cheeks, which I wish I would have used a little lighter pink because those are some pretty pink cheeks. Oh well. And then once I have both of those on, I printed out, I also made a printout from Cricut Design Space, and this just says let's build a snowman, and I thought that was really, really cute. And then after that, I am going to take this little black hat that I got from the Dollar Tree last year, and I'm just going to cut this in half, and then I will glue it to the top of that snowman's head to cover up the pumpkin stem. And if you recreate this, you can just cut off the stem if you'd like to. And then after that, I took some of this gingham ribbon I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to put it around his neck to make a scarf. Then I take another piece of that ribbon and I cut it in half, and then I'm just making the 2 pieces that go on the scarf. And then I took another piece of that ribbon and I cut it down, and I'm just going to put it all around his hat. Now you might see on his scarf that there's a little poinsettia. I do end up taking that off and replacing it with a snowflake. But I did take some little holly berry that I got from Hobby Lobby and put it on top of his hat. After that, I took these snowflakes. I got them from Hobby Lobby. They're like over by the mini trees, has all the mini ornaments. And I am just going to cut off the little piece where you hang the ornament, and then I'm just going to hot glue them here and there on the board. I was trying to decide where exactly to hang them. Glue them. Oh, you guys, this is my second voiceover today, so I'm kind of tired. I think it's going to be coffee time after this. After that, I took this ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby last year, and I thought it would be perfect to cover up those pumpkins that are on that board. So I laid it out, and then I'm just going to turn it over and hot glue the ends to the back part of the board there. And I do have to say I had glitter everywhere from that ribbon. Then I made a bow out of that same ribbon, and then I took this ribbon I also got from Hobby Lobby earlier this year and made a second bow, and I'm attaching it to that snowflake ribbon. Then I'm going to take some more of that gingham blue ribbon, and I'm going to make a third little bow and attach that to those bows as well. Then after that, I took one of those snowflakes and I used some hot glue and put it right in the middle, and then I'm just going to hot glue that right to the top of that board to cover those extra holes that were in the board. Then I took some more of that gingham ribbon and I'm just making a hanger with it. So I'm just threading it through the far holes that are on those boards. I tie a knot on each end, and then that completes this DIY. Now, if you are going to sell this, if you recreate it, or if you are going to recreate it and give it to someone, you could use some shipping paper and cover the back. This is just going to hang in my house, so I didn't worry about it. And there it is. I think it's really cute. It's crazy that those were pumpkins and now they are snowmen. You have to let me know what you think of my pumpkins into snowmen DIYs. And there are the final reveal of all three. I hope you like them. Again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, become part of our family. Make sure you all like and comment on this video and share with your friends. And I will be back on Wednesday with another video. So pray that I make it through, because this is crazy time for me. But with all that being said, you guys have a blessed few days, and we will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.